Morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to County Court at Law Number 2. My name is Judge Terrence Holmes. I'm the presiding judge here in County Court at Law Number 2. Today we have two dockets. We have an announcement docket and we have a motion to revoke probation docket. When I call your name, please come forward with your attorney. First case is cause number 24-CCCR-0850. Case is style the state of Texas versus Andrea Doherty. Okay.
And learn something new every day.
Yeah. This Doherty, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Oh, gotta wait for the prosecutor. I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking.
I pronounce it all wrong. It's pronounced differently in different parts of the United States, so. But I'm from Pennsylvania, so we're just real simple up there.
And Ms. Doherty, you represented by your attorney, Attorney James Macon. Attorney Macon, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderfully.
That's good. And state is represented in this case by Attorney Haley Simmons. Attorney Simmons, how are you doing?
I'm good, Judge. How are you?
Doing fine. And Mr. Macon, what is your announcement?
Your Honor, we have received an offer on Ms. Dougherty's case. I have not got her into the office to go over everything with her and asked for a short reset of her case.
Give us a reset. We'll keep it on announcement docket. Okay, this case will be reset to September 4th of 2024. Ms. Doherty, your attorney is going to get your reset. Once you get your reset, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. Mr. Macon, you're free to go as well and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Next case is cause number M332-660, case of style of the state of Texas versus Danny Chavez Arreola. Mr. Arreola, your full name is Danny Chavez Arreola.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Mr. Arreola?
Good.
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Arreola, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Peter Dahl. Attorney Dahl, how are you doing?
I'm pretty fair, dude.
And Mr. Dahl, what is your announcement in Mr. Arreola's case?
I need a little more time to get with the DA on the discovery.
Okay, now,
30 days will be fine.
okay, we're gonna put this on the pretrial conference docket. Give him a 30-day reset. I know this, Mr. Arreola had a previous attorney. Automatic.
Bruce Todd.
Yeah, and Mr. Cobb is no longer
No talking, please. Thank you.
practicing.
He's not?
No, he's not. No, he said he was taking a sabbatical. But,
Oh, okay.
so he's no longer practicing, but he was on the case for a while. And so I'll give him just a short recess.
September
Which one?
9th.
Okay, it's gonna be reset to September the 9th. And this is going to be placed on the pretrial conference docket.
Thanks, sir.
Okay, now once you get your reset from your attorney, Mr. Arreola, you're free to go. You have a blessed day. Once you get your reset, I think this is your only case. You're free to go as well. You have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Next case is cause number 23-CCCR 1825. Case is style of the state of Texas versus Drew Anthony Garner. Drew Anthony Garner. Mr. Garner, Your full name is Drew Anthony Garner.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Garner? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Garner, you're representing your case by your Attorney Mel Shalanda. Attorney Shalanda, how are you doing?
Better than I was in recent past.
I understand, and that's a blessing. Mr. Shalanda, what is your announcement?
We need to set it for trial.
Okay, give us a trial date. September 9th. September 9th, is that a good day for you?
I'm set in Houston on that date.
Maybe
Maybe after that, or the week after that or something.
It'll be September 27th.
No worries.
Okay, so this case will be reset to September 23rd, 2024. Mr. Garner, you're gonna get your reset from your attorney. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you're free to go. And you have a blessed day. And let's see, Mr.
That's all I
Shalanda, I
have.
think that's the only case.
Yes, sir.
You're free to go as well and continue to have a blessed day. He has two cases.
You let me know, so you can-
I can get it to him.
Okay, says he have. Who's your client?
Randall Denton,
Denton?
correct, Judge.
Okay. Randall Denton. Please come forward. This is cause number 23 CCCR 2126, case of style of state of Texas versus Randall Denton.
Sir.
Mr. Denton, is that your full name? Randall G. Denton?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Denton?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. And you're represented by Attorney Alec Comerford. Attorney Comerford, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Judge, how about yourself?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Comerford, what is your announcement in Mr. Denton's case?
Waiting to review discovery. I know it was just shared either yesterday or today, so I need some time to review that.
We did have server issues yesterday, so I could possibly be it too. So if it doesn't work today, check again.
This is the DWI second. I wish those bond conditions. Let me see. Mr. Denham, give you some bond conditions, that standard bond conditions. In County Court Law number 2. The DWI second case is. Now, Mr. Denton, the document that I have before me is titled Standard Bond Conditions in County Court at Law number 2. And it states as follows. Following return of a criminal information in County Court at Law number 2 of Jefferson County, Texas, all bail bonds executed for release of any defendant named herein are ordered subject to the additional condition. Number 1, the defendant shall commit no offense against the laws of this state, any other state, or of the United States. Do you understand that condition? Condition number 2, the defendant shall submit to testing for drugs and alcohol at any time as directed by the court. The court may revoke the bond and order the arrest of any defendant who A, refuses to submit to a test for drugs and alcohol when directed to do so, or B, submit to a test for drugs and alcohol, and the test indicates the presence of drugs and alcohol in the defendant's body. Do you understand that condition?
Yes, sir.
Now, condition number 3 does not apply. However, condition number 4 does apply because your offense, which is a DWI second, is a subsequent offense listed under section 49.04 through 4906 of the Texas Penal Code. And condition number 4 states as follows. A defendant whose information charges any subsequent offense listed under section 4904 through 4906 of the Texas Penal Code shall not operate any motor vehicle unless the vehicle is equipped with an interlock device mechanism that makes impractical the operation of the vehicle if ethyl alcohol is detected in the breath of the operator. And said device shall be installed at the defendant's expense with written verification of such installation being submitted to the court on or before 3 days after the date. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, condition number 5, the defendant shall obtain, maintain, and pay for and have no violations with it. Ignition interlock device, mobile threat device. Any violation will be grounds for revocation. Do you understand that condition? Now, condition number 6, the defendant must attend AANA meetings 3 times a week and provide proof to the court. I'm going to give you. Now, do you live in Jefferson County?
Baytown.
Baytown, okay, so I'll just give you a sign-in sheet. There are, if you lived in Jefferson County, I was gonna give you a list of places that you can attend AANA meetings in the Golden Triangle area. But since you live in Baytown, I know they probably have just as many or even more.
Your Honor, already go to one.
You do? Good. They you just bring that sign-in sheet with you.
Okay.
And every time you go, they're gonna sign it. And then when you come back to court on your next court date, bring that sign-in sheet with you so we can verify that you are attending.
Yes, sir.
Now, if you violate any one of the conditions of this bond, your bond can be revoked. And if your bond is revoked, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. You'll be arrested and placed in the Jefferson County Jail. Do you understand? Make a copy. Okay. Oh, you have to go ahead anyway? She said she'll make it. Okay, so your case is gonna be reset. To give your attorney, and
I'd like to have an October date, just
Okay.
for his work schedule.
okay, I'll wait till the court coordinator come back in so she can look at the schedule. That's the file, this case. So, kind of late.
Media firms, if you also CCQ for future consideration, and the media started too. If you CCQ on the bottom every time.
Because they're upstairs in the trial division for the media. Okay. We just go there right now.
Or won't even do that.
We need an October date. Yeah, that's his copy. Now, Mr. Denton, we're going to give you your attorney requested an October date.
Second.
No,
Okay, so this case will be reset to October 2nd, 2024. Your attorney is going to get your reset, Mr. Denton. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Attorney Comerford, you'll be free to go as well and you have a blessed day.
Thank you,
Please stand in front of the court coordinator. You're
thank you,
welcome.
Judge.
You're welcome. Let's see, we have any help saves, okay. Dominique Stewart. Please come forward. This is cause number 24CCCR 0218. Case is style of state of Texas versus Dominique Stewart. Mr. Stewart, how are you doing?
I'm already you.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Stewart.
Yes.
Let's see, I have before me a document that is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Hold on a minute.
No.
Yeah, on this document, I see here that your case was reset to give you an opportunity to hire an attorney.
I think last time we came out, I spoke to, yes, I was supposed to get a turn and, you tell me today, I guess today is my court date.
Okay, have you got your attorney?
No, so I'm still looking for one.
Okay. Why haven't you obtained it? And you say you're still looking for one.
Maybe wise. I told you that last time you was well off of what I had based on, but it wasn't, I had the evidence, it wasn't the stuff that I was getting paid for. Basically getting paid at the time.
No, I went on the, what you placed on the affidavit.
Yes, sir. But I actually have my stubs with me and everything. It's just, they don't add up to what we had went over last time.
Well, I don't know. I just went over,
Close.
I mean, you put the information on the,
Well, that's what
the,
was given. That's what I was supposed to be doing at the time, but that wasn't what I promised once I started working the job.
okay, well, you can fill out another affidavit and we could take another look at it. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so, just hold on a minute. They're going to get you an affidavit.
How can I do it? I have other things on my phone. We have an app thing on the phone that shows like our face ups and stuff.
Okay, and you can step outside,
Okay.
turn your phone on. You need an ink pen?
Yes,
Yeah, okay, here you go. Here, she already have one. There's an ink pen on the clipboard. Okay, just fill out that form. Once you fill out the form, you can come back and have a seat in the courtroom, and then we'll call you up.
Yes, sir.
Okay? All right. If they have a case in a district court, which is a felony court, they have priority over this misdemeanor court. Or if they have a case in a smaller county, like Southeast Texas, Jefferson County is the largest county, so if they're in Hardin County, Chambers County, Liberty County, any one of the counties that's smaller than Jefferson County, they have priority over us as well. Okay, so we have to wait until they finish with their cases, either out of county or if they are in a district court. Okay. And the other thing is, all the courts usually set the cases at the same time, 9 o'clock. Okay, so they can't be in two places at one time. They have to be in the district court first. Okay, so we'll be in recess. Mr. Bernard, would you come forward?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bernard, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Now, Mr. Bernard, you're represented in your cases by your attorney, Attorney Ralph Kimler.
Yes, sir.
The court has just been informed that Mr. Kimler is currently in trial in Hardin County.
Yes, sir.
So your case is going to be reset.
Yes, sir.
All right, just have a seat in that first chair on the wall right here and wait for the coordinator to call your name. Once she calls your name, you're gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. You have a blessed day too.
All right, thank you. Mr. Rojas, you ready on yours?
Yes.
Do you have the discovery certificates? Do those for me real quick? I have discovery for you. Fine. Thank you. You just write the policy number, but you got it.
Yeah.
You're awesome.
And I'll have to translate this.
Okay. Is this Mr. Arellano?
It is.
Mr. Bernard?
Jefferson County Court at Law Number 2 is back in session. The court is in session with two cases. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Juan Arellano. And first case is cause number M332320. Second case is cause number 23CCCR 2699. Mr. Arellano, your full name is Juan Gillian Arellano?
Yes.
And Mr. Arellano speaks Spanish. I guess he speaks some English. He is represented by his attorney, Attorney Charles Rojas, who speaks Spanish and English. Mr. Rojas, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Rojas, do you swear or affirm to interpret Spanish to English and English to Spanish to help you God?
I do.
Mr. Rojas, you may put your hand down. Mr. Rojas, ask Mr. Gilliam to Mr. Arellano to raise his right hand. Mr. Arellano, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes.
Okay, you may put your hand down. Mr. Rojas, ask Mr. Arellano how he's doing. Good, good. All right. Now, Mr. Arellano, I have before me on my computer a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Juan Gillian Arellano, on or about March 5th of 2022, that you were operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas. This information further alleged that while you are operating the motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas, that your blood alcohol concentration level was 0.5 or more. Did y'all waive that paragraph?
Yes, Your Honor. Can you
Okay.
write it in?
Okay, now, Mr. Arellano, this,
Wait, I'm working on another one. No, Your Honor, we're not waiving it on that one. We're waiving on the next one.
Okay.
oh,
Well, you said 0.5. I thought that's what threw me off.
0.15.
Okay, that's what threw me off.
Okay. Now, Mr. Arellano, to the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more, how do you plead? Guilty? Not guilty? Or no contest?
Guilty.
Guilty? Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes.
Mr. Arellano, I also have before me on this tablet a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that says check guilty. Did you place your initials on this document, J.A.?
Yes.
Yes.
On page 3 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes.
Yes.
And on the next document that is titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document? At the bottom of this document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that is checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? The second box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have before me a document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that is titled defendant?
Yeah.
I also have a document that is titled English Statement 1 for all foreign nationals except those from mandatory notification countries. Mr. Arellano, are you a citizen of the United States?
No.
What country are you from?
Jalisco.
What country is he from?
Guadalajara.
País.
Mexico.
Mexico.
Mexico? Okay. Now, I'm gonna go back to State's Exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment. At the bottom of this document that's titled Citizenship, it states that if you are not a U.S. citizen, a plea of guilty or nolo contendere may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law. Do you understand this statement?
Yes.
And I see here that there's some initials at the bottom of this paragraph, and the initials are JA. Did you place your initials at this?
Yes.
And do you understand what I just read to you? And do you still want to go forward with your plea bargain? Okay. Now, Mr. Rojas, you've advised and counseled Mr. Arellano, and pursuant to the case of Padilla versus Kentucky, did you advise Mr. Arellano of the consequences of pleading guilty in no contest by virtue of him not being a US citizen?
I did, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, Mr. Arellano. Before you sign and initial these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you in Spanish?
Yes.
And did you understand everything that your attorney went over? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
Say the first next one.
No objection.
No objection. States exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Rojas, you have advised and counseled Mr. Arellano. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Which one of these goes with here?
There should, the
I
one
got
that's
it.
not marked, there should be one with that. This one goes to the next case. The 2 pages. I don't see the other one, so I can show you, but it is marked. It has the cause on it.
Okay,
That goes to the first one. The second one's not marked.
okay. Okay, now, Mr. Arellano. Your attorney, Ms. Rojas, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Arellano, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes.
State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea, the state's offering 180 days probated over 18 months, $500 fine, 80 hours community service, interlock DWI first standard conditions to run concurrent with the companion case.
And Mr. Rojas, you were appointed in this case.
Yes.
Now, Mr. Arellano, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in jail because you will be placed on probation for a period of 18 months. During the 18-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $250. You will also be required to pay the standard, it's an EMS fine of $100. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, urinalysis fee, $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15. You will also be required to pay Jefferson County DWI initial evaluation fee of $125 on a day of plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month is $130 a month. Will you be able to pay the $130 each month?
Yes.
You will also be required to perform 80 hours of community service, install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate, attend a completed DWI education class, and have an alcohol assessment, and you will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of DWI probation. This case will run concurrent with the companion case, cause number 23CCCR 2699. Mr. Arellano, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Arellano, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Arellano, I will now move to your next case. And your next case is cause number 23CCCR 2699. And in this case, I have a document that is titled Information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. And in this information, Mr. Arellano, it alleges that you, Juan Arellano, on or about October 2nd of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more while you are operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas. Mr. Arellano, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes.
And to this charge, Mr. Arellano, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Oh.
Guilty? Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes.
Ms. Arellano, I also have before me. You might have to send that other document back to me. But never mind, you can keep it. Now, Mr. Arellano, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
On page, and are these your initials below the paragraph that is titled Citizenship?
Yes.
And this paragraph states, if you are not a U.S. citizen, a plea of guilty or nolo contendere may result in your deportation, exclusion from admission, and denial of naturalization under federal law. Do you understand this paragraph?
Yes,
And these are your initials below that paragraph, is that
Yes.
correct? Signifying that you understood this paragraph.
yes,
Okay. On page 2 of this same document, there's a set of initials on the line next to a box that's titled or that's checked guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
yes,
And on page 3 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
yes,
And on the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
yes,
Is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
yes,
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
yes,
The second box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
yes,
I also have a document. Give me that other document back. The one with the, that's for the counselor. I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
yes,
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
yes,
And I also have a document that is titled English Statement Number 1 for all foreign nationals, except those from mandatory notifications countries. And do you recognize this document?
yes,
And is this your signature on the
Yes.
line that's titled Signature? Now, Mr. Arellano, before you sign and initialed all of these documents,
yes,
did your attorney go over these documents with you?
yes,
And did he go over these documents in Spanish?
yes,
And did you understand everything that he went over?
yes,
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
It offers states no judge.
No objection. No objection. State's exhibit number 1 will be admitted. And Mr. Rojas, supervising counsel, Mr. Arellano, in this case as well, is there any evidence that he's currently mentally incompetent to stand trial? No, Your Honor. And Mr. Arellano, your attorney, Mr. Rojas, is advising counsel to you in this case. Are you satisfied with his services in this case?
yes,
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
yes,
Mr. Arellano, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. And I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for defendants, the state's offering 180 days probated over 18 months, a $500 fine, 80 hours community service, interlock and DWI standard conditions to run concurrent with the companion case.
Okay, Mr. Arellano. The state is offering that you serve 18 months in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail because you will be placed on probation for a period of 18 months. During the 18-month probationary period, you will be required to pay a fine of $500 plus did I add the court costs? I didn't add the court costs. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. That's 50.
I'll have a receipt from Mr. Payne, Jeff, whenever we get to it.
Okay. Now, Mr. Arellano, now, on the previous case, I stated that your probation fee is $130. Actually, your probation fee will be $150 a month. Would you be able to pay that?
Yes.
Okay. Now, on this case, the state is offering that you serve 18 months probation, soon 18 months, not 18 months, 180 days in jail probated for 18 months. That means you will not have to spend any time in jail because you'll be on probation for a period of 18 months. You will also be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $337. You'll also be required to pay a DPS fine of $100. You'll be required to pay attorney's fees of $50. And you will not be required to pay a probation fee and a urinalysis fee because you are paying those fees on the previous case. However, you will be required to pay a reimbursement fee. Now, your total monthly installments that you'll be required to pay on this case is $59 a month. Will you be able to pay the $59 a month? Now, you'll also be required to perform 80 hours of community service, install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate, attend and complete a DW education class, have an alcohol assessment. You will be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. In this case, will run concurrent with cause number M332320. Mr. Arellano, do you understand the state's offer? Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yeah.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yeah.
Okay, now, Mr. Arellano, the reason why your probation fee in the previous case was raised to $150 because I forgot to include the $337 court costs that you'll be required to pay. Do you understand that? Okay, Mr. Arellano, this will conclude your case. Please stand in front of the court coordinator, follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you're finished following her directions, you're free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Rojas is,
That's all I have.
this your only two cases. You're free to go as well and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Mr. Crane.
Who?
Mr. Crane, for Justin Payne.
Payne.
dismissal. You got that receipt back.
Mr. Payne? Is it where?
Mr. Payne.
Mr. Payne, this is cause number M 332-914, case of Style, State of Texas versus Justin Keith Payne. Mr. Payne, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Payne? Now, Mr. Payne, you're represented by your attorney, Attorney Wright Kimler. Attorney Kimler is currently in trial in Hardin County. However, your attorney reached a plea agreement with the state. And the agreement required that you pay restitution for dismissal, is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
And Mr. Payne has paid that restitution?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Payne, this case is going to be dismissed. I'm signing the dismissal right now. Once you get a copy of this dismissal from our court coordinator, you'll be free to go. And you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir.
You can stand in front of the window.
Mhm.
And thanks for being patient with us.
Yes, sir.
All right. Juan Barrientos.
Yes, you have a citizenship form.
Oh,
I think he usually keeps them. She might help them.
okay. Y'all can sit at that table. You can go over it with him. Who else we have?
Oh, I sent one over for Caesar, but I don't think it's ready just yet. She said Mr. Cole was going to do it by Zoom, but he's not here to sign her up, so I don't see how that would be possible. So she might actually have to be resent. I don't know if we could put her on Friday's announcement docket, but I'd hate to keep everything.
Yeah.
So communicate with your office. If you want to contact them.
She's on here. I'm not ready to sign her up. That's fine. Whatever you order.
Okay, this is cause number 24CCCR 0118, case of Style, State of Texas versus Juan Barrientos. Mr. Barrientos, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Barrientos, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Barrientos, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Barrientos, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Barrientos? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Ms. Barrientos. You're representing the case by your attorney, Nathan Reynolds. Attorney Reynolds, how are you doing?
Do well, Judge.
Mr. Reynolds, do you waive a record in Mr. Barrientos' case?
So wait.
Mr. Barrientos, I have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishments. No, well, this document is titled information sheet. We'll do that one first. Now, this information sheet, Mr. Barrientos, was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information sheet, it alleges that you, Juan Barrientos, on or about October 19th of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated, an alcohol concentration level of 1.5 or more. Now, the state you abandoned an enhancement paragraph.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Barrientos, the state is abandoning the enhancement paragraph, and what that means is, instead of being charged with a Class A misdemeanor, which is the highest misdemeanor, you will be charged with a lesser included offense, a Class B misdemeanor, DWI. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, to the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes.
Mr. Barrientos, I also have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, there's a set of initials on the line next to the box that says check guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes.
And on the next document, that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
The second box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me a document that is titled discovery certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes.
Mr. Barrientos, I also have a, let's see, I'll go back to State's Exhibit number 1. Mr. Barrientos, are you a citizen of the United States?
No.
What country are you from?
Mexico.
Okay, now, Mr. Barrientos, at the bottom of State's Exhibit number 1, there's a paragraph that's titled citizenship. And this paragraph states that if you're not a U.S. citizen, a plea of guilty or another contingent may result in deportation from this country, exclusion from naturalization of the federal law, and you can be, let's see, you can be deported. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, have him to sign initial below the paragraph says site of citizenship, signifying that he understand that.
Do we sign or is it initial?
He could initial. Okay, now, Mr. Barrientos, do you still want to go forward on your plea bargain agreement?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Mr. Reynolds, pursuant to the case of Padilla versus Kentucky, did you advise your client to the consequences of pleading guilty no contest by virtue of him not being a U.S. citizen?
I have, Joe.
Okay, now, Mr. Barrientos, I also have before me this document. I don't know if you went over this one yet. Did I go over this document with him?
Not yet.
No, Your
Okay,
Honor.
now, Mr. Barrientos, I have before me a document that is titled English Statement 1 for all foreign nationals except those from mandatory notification countries. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled signature?
Yes, sir.
And you circle no, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And that is to the statement that reads as follows. Do you want us to notify your consular officers at this time? And you circle no, is that correct? Now, Mr. Barrientos, before you signed and initialed all of these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand everything that your attorney went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes.
to the best of your knowledge?
State offer states one judge.
Any objections?
No objection, state so.
No objections. States exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Reynolds, you advised and counseled Mr. Barrientos. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None to my knowledge.
And Mr. Barrientos, your attorney, Mr. Reynolds, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes.
Mr. Barrientos, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Ms. Jackson, please send that document back to me. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea, the state's offering 18 months deferred, $750 fine, 80 hours community service, interlock and DWI first standard conditions of probation.
Mr. Reynolds, were you appointed?
I was appointed, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Barrientos. The state is offering that you serve 18 months deferred adjudicated probation. During the 18-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $750 plus court costs of $392. You'll also be required to pay a DPS fine of $100. And probation fees of $60 a month, your analysis fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15, and you'll be required to reimburse Jefferson County Court of attorney's fees of $250. Now, your total monthly installments, that is, total amount that you'll be required to pay each month is $168 a month. Will you be able to pay the $168 each month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to pay Jefferson County DWI initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, you will also be required to perform 80 hours of community service, install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own and operate, attend a completed data by education class, have an alcohol assessment, and adhere to the other standard terms of DWI probation. Mr. Barrientos, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, you do.
Think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes,
And
sir.
do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Barrientos, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Barrientos, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for a non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Now, Mr. Barrientos, you will stand in front of the court coordinator, follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Reynolds, you are free to go as well and you have a blessed day.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Now, Mr. Reynolds, you have a case tomorrow here.
I'm Eddie.
You do on the general run docket.
Is it
I'm gonna grab a water.
is it one just by itself or it's a felony? Yeah, so we need to be here for 8:30.
I'll be here.
Okay.
He was here. He's here.
Hmm?
So you want them here the regular time?
Oh, buddy, take care.
No, she was saying that, yeah, because she was saying that, Minaldi
It's gonna be late.
is at 9 instead of,
So,
She
and the problem is he's not here, so.
she's gonna be here at 8.
So you can sign off that.
She's going to sign up today. Yeah, okay. Have them here for 8.
Okay, so regular time,
Right.
okay.
And so you're gonna have to get here earlier and sign so people are not gonna get started at 8.
Says we'll be able to discuss the
Because if she,
Wait,
yeah,
so she gonna.
she's signing them up today.
So she.
Okay. Katrina Corinthian Caesar,
I would put the else in there.
3 C's.
Three C's. It's the three C's. First time.
No, that's what they call me, CC.
Oh,
That sounds easier.
I call you CCC.
okay, this is cause number 23CC Ciara 2494. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Katrina Corinthian Caesar. Ms. Caesar, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Caesar, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Caesar, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Caesar, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Caesar?
Okay.
That's good. Ms. Caesar, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney James Paget. Attorney Paget, how are you doing?
Doing well. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. And Mr. Paget, do you waive a record in Ms. Caesar's case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Caesar, I have before me a document that is titled, that's titled Information Sheet. This information sheet was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information sheet, it alleges that you, Katrina Corinthian Caesar, on or about October 12th of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the class A misdemeanor offense of assault, family violence. Ms. Caesar, do you understand what you have been charged with? And to this charge, Ms. Caesar, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Ms. Mosby, we need some copies of that. Now, Ms. Caesar, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. This document is on this tablet. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
This document is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. On page 2 of this document, there's a set of initials, CC, on a line next to a box that's checked no contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On the next page of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document, that's titled Trial Court's Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? At the top of this document, there's one box that's checked. The box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. You understand that statement? You take that gum out your mouth. And I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? Now, Ms. Caesar, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Ms. Caesar, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State offer states one.
Any
No-
objections?
No objections to stage one. Your
No objections. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. And Mr. Paget, you've advised and counseled Ms. Caesar. Is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Ms. Caesar, your attorney, Mr. Paget, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Caesar, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea, the state's offering 1 year deferred, $200 fine, 60 hours community service, anger management, and no contact with Darren Lewis.
What is Ms. Caesar's court cost?
That way you know.
277? Okay. 277 and
That's how, they'll give you the payment if you interest on it. But you do it however you.
now you know there's a $100 fee. This is a assault family violence. It goes to a family violence center in the county. Oh, I need to get his court costs. 277, okay, I got it.
I just have to remember.
Yeah, I got it written down here, I did, I calculated.
This is one of those, normally I wouldn't.
Yeah,
Listen.
I was saying that didn't look right.
That is-
Normally
it
it's like
sounds a little more than-
377.
It is, that's right. When I
Yeah.
heard 277, when I heard it
Yeah.
that low, that stuck in my mind.
Yeah, Miss Caesar, I have, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $100 plus court costs of $200. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee. Oh, let me read that again. You'll be required to pay a fine of $200 plus court costs of $277. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $6 a month, you're not fee of $15 a month, and reimbursement fee of $15. And you will also be required to pay $100 fee to a crime victim center in the Jefferson County area. You will be required to pay this amount in monthly installments in the amount of $136 a month. Will you be able to pay the $136 each month? You will? All right. You will also be required to perform 60 hours of community service. You cannot have any contact with the victim in this case, Darren Lewis. You will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. And you'll be required to attend and complete the anger management class. Do you understand that? Now, Ms. Caesar, do you understand the state's offer?
Yeah.
Do you think the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer? Okay, Ms. Lewis, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Ms. Lewis, this will conclude this case. Now, Ms. Lewis, if you successfully complete the probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction in record, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Now, you have the paperwork? Did she have to take a seat? Okay, just have a seat right there in that first chair on the wall and wait for your name to be called.
And Your Honor, I have two other cases if I could approach on.
You got
Have a Schroeder.
William Scott, is he here?
He is.
William
He was
Scott
just
Schroeder?
outside. He went downstairs. Let me just step out. and go.
Because I didn't have him being checked.
Right, and he
Okay,
didn't either, but I'll let her know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Almost there.
Take a look at it, Mr. Goldberg.
so this is cause number 24CCCR 0338. Case of style of state of Texas versus William Scott Schroeder. Mr. Schroeder, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Schroeder?
I'm doing pretty good.
That's good, Mr. Schroeder. You represented your case by your attorney, Attorney James Paget. And Attorney Paget, what is your announcement in Mr. Schroeder's case?
Your Honor, we have now received all the discovery and as well as an offer on the case. I just need, if you would give us maybe 30 days for me to set up an appointment with my client to review this discovery and relay the offer, I'm certain we can work the situation.
You have any objections?
No objections.
Okay.
And it's Haley's case, but thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman.
Give us a,
I think it's, no, it's yours, sir.
No.
you want to take a
Sorry
seat?
about that. I got you.
Reset. Yeah, keep September 13th.
That was like a winner to me, Your Honor. That gives you-
Okay, this case will be reset to September 13th.
Yeah, that's perfect.
2024. Once your case is gonna be reset, once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
All
Your
right.
Honor.
You got Mr. Reyes,
Hold on a second.
you have Oscar Reyes,
He needs an interpreter for his computer. His thing is in court.
Come with you. I'll explain to you. I'll make the announcement here in a second.
who is who?
Your Honor, this is Mr. Reyes, and this is my translator. Now, we're not going to be translating a plea or anything, but just if it would be okay for him to just explain everything that's going on here.
Okay, so we have, this is cause number, okay, let me do this here. Now, what's your name?
William Ruiz. William R-U-S-Z Ruiz.
William Ruiz?
Ruiz, yes.
Ruiz? Okay, Mr. Ruiz, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Ruiz, do you swear to interpret Spanish to English and English to Spanish, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Ruiz?
Good. How you do?
Okay, I'm doing fine. Ask Mr. Reyes if his full name is Oscar Reyes.
Tu nombre es completo es Oscar Reyes. Yes.
Ask Mr. Reyes how he's doing.
¿Cómo estás? Good.
Good? All right. Now, Mr. Reyes is represented in his case by his attorney, James Paget. Now, let me ask you something, Mr. Paget.
Yes,
Has
Your Honor.
Mr. Reeves ever interpreted in court before?
I
Your
did-
Honor.
I did before, long time.
And every time he's been with me, translating for Mr. Reyes, so he doesn't work for me.
I understand,
He's
but
a
I mean,
friend of Mr. Reyes.
or is he able to interpret the court, the paperwork?
He did. I mean, look.
I'm talking about the paperwork on the plea.
Yeah, well, he believes that he is, but, out of abundance of caution,
Okay,
you know,
you
I
want this,
understand that your policy normally is.
well, we normally,
It
we
is
get
an
a,
official.
now, he said he has interpreted in court before.
Well, I
Normally
believe he's
we have-
confident. I have relayed the offer to,
Because I think the statute, as long as he's, oh, here it is. When motion by person charged with offense does not understand and speak English, an interpreter must be sworn to interpret. He was sworn. But a person chosen, any person may be subpoenaed, attached, or recognized in any criminal action or proceeding to appear before the proper judge or court to act as an interpreter. So it's saying basically, according to 38.03 Texas Code of Criminal Procedure, the court can recognize any person. As any person may be subpoenaed, attached, or recognized in any criminal action or proceeding to appear before the proper judge or court to act as interpreter therein under the same rules and penalties as provided for witnesses. So as long as he can accurately interpret the paperwork that he has to sign and then interpret what I'm saying to him, then he can interpret.
I understand.
So I'm just, it all depends on what you want to do.
I think out of an abundance of caution,
Okay.
it would probably be safer if we used,
Oh, the court.
yeah, and
Okay.
I'm reading him right now,
Okay,
just
okay.
out of abundance of caution.
Okay.
Now, we have relayed the general information and my client wants to accept the offer and he
Okay.
fully understands.
Now,
it.
let me ask you this here, the second question. Does he work? Because I'm trying to, we can try to work it around his schedule. Because
He does work.
Yeah, he works, yeah, do concrete, yeah.
no,
He's a concrete man, so
he does concrete?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
how many hours a week does? Mr.
because
Bates?
we may have an interpreter. Actually,
Yeah, he work,
we may have an interpreter before 12 if they still not in court. Do we
Your Honor,
know?
would it be possible to do a week or so just out of scheduling because I have to be in another county in another, probably hour and 15 minutes.
Okay,
Whatever.
no, well, I mean, but he's saying that you gotta be in.
Well, I have an appointment in another county in like.
Yeah,
It's 11.
and this is 11, so I mean, you're saying about an hour or whatever. We may not
This is
have,
Hardin County, so it will take me a little
Yeah.
while to get there.
yeah. Okay,
Would it be okay, for us to come back within a week or two?
Si está bien que vengas en una semana o dos, dice que sí.
we can set it 1 week.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
Okay, so if we come back in a week, we'll have a translator. We'll be
Yeah.
prepared to go forward,
Yeah.
asking.
Yeah, que si en una semana te dan y ya está ¿cómo se llama? El intérprete acá, ya puede. ¿Está bien? Sí, sí.
It's comfortable with it,
Okay.
I'm comfortable with it.
Okay, give us a 1 week reset. Which one? August the 7th? So 2024,
Is there any way we could do the Monday, the 5th?
August the 5th?
Monday, August the 5th? It's just a little better for my schedule.
I
This will
understand.
take a little more time. I want to make sure we do it right. It's
Okay, so we're gonna do it Monday, August the 5th?
Monday, August the 5th. Will that be okay? Could you ask him? Tell me.
I got scheduled, for the week, the whole week.
Okay. What about
The next following week, I can do that.
is it possible for us to do August the 12th, Your Honor? It's the following Monday.
Okay,
He said he has a concrete job scheduled
Okay.
that, the entire week before.
okay, so you
Had
wanna
take
do it on the
part in
12th?
income.
You wanna do it on the
If
12th?
we could do it on Monday, the 12th, would that be okay?
Okay,
Because he would have to miss two.
okay, so this case will be reset to August the 12th, 2024.
What do you say?
It's just announcement.
Whatever
It's a
pleases the
plea.
court.
It's a
It's gonna
plea.
be a plea.
It's gonna be a plea.
So whatever the court pleases,
Okay,
it'll be disposed of on that day.
okay. We're gonna reset it for a plea.
Okay.
All right.
You step right outside and I'll be right out in just a moment.
Mr. Gilco just left.
I just,
Yeah, his client is not in here. The lady, she stepped out.
thank you for
Okay,
helping me. I
all
was
right.
just reading him, you know.
All right.
When I saw him look shaky, I said, we're not gonna.
Okay,
Thank you.
so you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Ron. Believe me.
Oh, there she is.
Go forward just like you did.
That's Miss Miss Miss, I don't see her name on the back. Oh, she's on MTRP, okay. This is clause number M 333 748, case of South State of Texas versus Jessica Ray O'Connell. What we're gonna do is, oh, she can stand in for. Miss O'Connell,
Yes, sir.
how are you doing?
Pretty good.
That's good, Miss O'Connell. You're representing your case by your attorney, Giles Cole, who's appearing via Zoom. Now, Mr. Cole, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Judge. How about
Oh, where's the prosecutor? Hold on a minute. Okay, now, the state is represented in this case by Attorney Andrew Hubel. Attorney Hubel, how are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor.
That's good. Now, Mr. Hubel, you had relayed an offer to Ms. O'Connell and her attorney, Mr. Cole, and the offer was,
That offer was for payment restitution in regards to her MTRP case, and if that payment was made, the state agreed to plea that MTRP to time served, 14 days. We
okay,
have received confirmation from the probation office that restitution has been paid, and the state's ready to honor that deal.
okay. Now, Mr. Cole, so I understanding that you're not here today, you're unable to be here, you're in another state or something?
Yes, sir, I have been. I'm in a district court out here in New Orleans.
Okay, now we have Miss Provo, who is here. And Ms. Provo could stand in and if you don't, and do the plea. Do you have any objections to that? I can't hear you.
I was looking at you.
Oh, your volume, we can't hear you. What she said? I guess it's okay. Okay. So we'll have Ms. Provo do the plea. Okay. All right. You have a safe time down in New Orleans.
I will.
All right. All right. You talk to you later. All right. Okay, well, his, Okay. This is cause number 23 CCCR 0658, case of style of state of Texas versus Catherine Lee Boudreaux. Ms. Boudreaux, is that your full name?
Sir.
Ms. Boudreaux, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Boudreaux, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Boudreaux, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Boudreaux?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Ms. Boudreaux, you're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Marvel Provo. Attorney Provo, how are you doing? That's good. Now, Ms. Boudreaux, I have before me a document that is titled information sheet. This information sheet is on my computer. In this information sheet, it alleges that you, Catherine Lee Boudreaux, on or about January 26th of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to Class A misdemeanor offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 3, less than 28 grams. Ms. Boudreaux, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, Your Honor.
And to this charge, how do you plead guilty? Not guilty, no contest.
No contest.
Are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, Your
Ms. Boudreaux, I also have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials, KLB, that are on a line next to a box that's checked nolo contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
On page 3 of this same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, Your Honor.
And on the next document, that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your
And is this your signature on the line that's titled
Honor.
defendant?
Yes, Your
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes,
The second box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you are giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Your Honor.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Boudreaux, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Ms. Provo, go over these documents with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you read and understand everything that Ms. Provo went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes, Your Honor.
to the best of your knowledge? Ms. Boudreaux, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes.
Stay for stage 1.
Any objections? No objections. State's exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Ms. Provo, you've advised in counsel, Ms. Boudreaux, is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
And Ms. Boudreaux, your attorney, Ms. Provo has advised in counsel, are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has she provided full, effective, and competent legal representation? Ms. Boudreaux, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
The agreement is to 180 days probated over 1 year. State is waiving the fine due to the fact that the defendant is already paying fine on felony probation.
Oh,
Um,
so you waiving the fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, there's a fine on here.
Oh, we may need to change the paperwork.
Oh, yeah.
And this myself and defense counsel had discussed, I believe, after the paperwork was sent on this case.
Okay.
So
What is,
we need to run this concurrent with the, felony involved.
okay, just write the cause number. Okay, so it's gonna be a zero fine. Well, could you, repeat the state's offer again?
Yes, Your Honor. The state's offer is 180 days probate over 1 year. With a waiver of the fine due to the fact that the defendant's on felony probation, 50 hours community service, and this case, will run concurrent with F-22-41219.
Where's, I need to know Miss Boudreaux's court costs. 277.
Yes. Yeah. F-22-4129.
Okay. Miss, Boudreaux, the state is offering that you serve, well, 180 days in jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in jail because you will be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you will not be required to pay a fine. You'll be required to pay court costs of $277. You're required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, a reimbursement fee of $15, and a urinalysis fee of $15 a month. And you'll be required to reimburse Jefferson County DWI initial evaluation fee of $250. Now that comes to a total of each month of $131. However, because you're already on probation, in this case, you will not be required to pay a probation fee of $60. You will not be required to pay the urinalysis fee of $15 because you'll be paying that in other case. Well, your total monthly installments, so therefore your total monthly installments in this case will be $49 a month. Will you be able to pay the $49 each month? Okay. You will also be required to perform 50,000 community service. This case will run concurrent with cause number F-22-41219. And you will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Ms. Boudreaux, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Boudreaux, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Ms. Boudreaux, this will conclude your case. You're gonna stand in front of, well, before you do that. Now, what you will notice, when you see your probation paperwork, it will have all of the fees in there. But because you are on probation, your probation officer, when your probation officer see your paperwork, then your probation officer, they're gonna readjust the fees because they know that you can't pay double probation fees and double your analysis fee,
Okay.
okay? All right, so you're gonna stand in front of the court coordinator, follow her direction, well, follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following the directions of the bailiff, you're free to go, and you have a blessed day.
Here.
Yeah, right there. And Ms. Provo, you can work on the, let's see, Jamie LeBeau is in LaSalle. His felony case was reset till till September 11th, is that correct? I think it's Miss
Yes, that's what it's about.
September 11th, so we're gonna reset this case to the same, this misdemeanor case to the same date of his felony case.
Okay.
Okay, so, you can, work on the paperwork with, Ms. O'Connor.
Okay, I also have another case, Mr. Rosado.
Christian Urube Lazama. This is cause number 23 CCCR 1982. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Christian Urube Lozama. Mr. Lozama, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lozama, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Lozama, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lozama, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Lozama?
Good, sir. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Lozama, you represented in your case by your attorney Marva Provo. Attorney Provo, you waive a record in Mr. Lozama's case?
Yes, we do.
Now, state, waiving the enhancement paragraph or not?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, you checked the wrong box. Supposed to check the class A, Mr. Mayor. Now, Mr. Lozama, this class A. Mr. Lozama, I have before me a document that is titled information sheet. Now, Mr. Lozama, did I swear you in?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Lozama, in this information sheet that was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office, it alleges that you, Christian Uribe Lozama, on or about April 30th of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the class A misdemeanor offense, driving while intoxicated with an alcohol concentration level of 0.15 or more, while you operating a motor vehicle in a public place in Jefferson County, Texas. Mr. Lozama, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes.
And to this charge, Mr. Lozama, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, I am.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges.
Yes.
Mr. Lozama, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, I do.
This document is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. On page 2 of this document, there's a set of initials on a line that's checked nolo contingere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, I did.
On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that's titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
That is.
And on the next document says Title Trial Court Certification to Defendant's Right of Appeal. You recognize this document?
Yes, I did.
And is this your signature on line that's titled
Yes,
Defendant?
it is.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box says check, states that this is a plea bargain case. You have no right of appeal. Do you understand this statement?
Yes.
Second box says check, states that you are waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
I also have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature on the line as titled
Yes.
Defendant? Now, Mr. Lozama, before you signed and initial these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney, Ms. Provo, go over these documents with you?
Yes, she did.
And did you read and understand everything that Ms. Provo went in?
I did.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, it is.
Mr. Lozama, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, I am.
State,
Stay for stage 1.
any objections? No objections. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. And Ms. Provo, you've advised and counseled Mr. Lozama. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, you don't.
And Mr. Lozama, your attorney, Ms. Provo, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Has she provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
She has.
Mr. Lozama, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
The agreement is to 180 days probated over 1 year with a $500 fine, 40 hours community service, the installation and maintaining of an interlock device, and DWI first standard conditions of probation.
What is this court cost?
Yeah.
Okay, now, Mr. Lozama, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail in this case because you've already served. Well, you will not be required to serve 180 days in this case because you'll be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $377. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Add that, turn this sheet. Ms. Provo, you appointed in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, now, Mr. Lozama, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in Jefferson County Jail, but you will not be required to serve 180 days in Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $377. You'll be required to pay a DPS fine of $100. You will also be required to perform 60 hours of communities, where you'll be required to pay $60 a month for a probation fee, $15 a month for your analysis fee, $15 for the reimbursement fee, and you will be required to reimburse Jefferson County, the court-appointed attorney's fees of $250. Now, your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month, is $195 a month. Will you be able to pay the $195 each month?
Yes, sir.
You will also be required to attend and complete a DWI education class. You'll be required to install an interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. You're required to have an alcohol assessment. You're required to perform 40 hours of community service. And you'll be required to pay Jefferson County DWI education and initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, Mr. Lozano, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes,
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
yes,
And do you accept the state's offer?
yes.
Mr. Lozama, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Lozama, this will conclude your case. You will stand, please have a seat in the, in that chair by the wall. And when the bailiff, when they call you up to the window, the bailiff is, you're gonna follow the bailiff's direction. Once you finish following her directions, you're free to go, and you have a blessed day,
You do the same, sir. Thank you.
okay? You gonna talk to Mr. Connell? Okay, the paperwork is not ready, is it? Did you resend? Yes. Yeah, Miss, do you have this, you have Mr. Lozama's paperwork ready? Okay. Okay, Isaiah Christopher Morton. Court is in session in two cases, clause numbers 24 CCCR 0092 and clause number 24 CCCR 0098. Both cases are styled in the state of Texas versus Isaiah Christopher Martin. Mr. Martin, is that your full name?
Yes.
How are you doing, Mr. Martin? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Martin, you're represented in your cases by your attorney, Attorney Todd LeBlanc. Attorney LeBlanc, how are you doing?
Good, thanks for asking.
And Mr. LeBlanc, what is your announcement?
If I may,
I believe the state's gonna.
the state has spoken to the complaining witness in these cases and per the request of the complaining witnesses in these cases, the state is submitting motions to dismiss in these cases.
Okay. Mr. Martin, just have a seat. And we're going to, when the state submit the motions, I'll sign the motions, and you'll be able to get a copy of the motions to dismiss.
And then judge it as big as.
Yeah, we'll do, yeah, we'll have to do in order to, release, the ankle, the GPS, device.
Then he just goes to that.
He has to bring this order with him.
Right, then bring, they go to that place and then.
Right. All right, just have a seat.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay,
It's like the Damon Stanford, I believe.
he's in jail.
Yes,
Is Mr. Stanford here?
he's in jail.
Is he in the back?
They're all reset, they all got reset from felonies.
Okay, so we're gonna reset it with the felony?
Judge, or it's, I believe it's, you could set it however you want. It's gonna be a time served, I believe, so I don't think it's gonna depend on the felony.
Oh, is he here? Is he still here?
No, well, I mean, in the future, if we can do it.
Okay, so I'm saying if he's still here, we can go ahead on and just,
No, they all been reset, so I don't.
well, you can check to see if they gone. If they're not gone, we could just we can do it.
Okay, cause Martin's by herself, so
Okay,
let me see.
And Judge, I have to get back to Coons.
And who is this?
For the, so
Stanford. The mom.
he's not gonna get out of jail, so it's okay if you reset it to whenever.
But I think state would not be opposed to a reset to a jail docket, Your Honor.
okay.
So you want it on the document? Oh.
When you want to reset,
Whenever.
Next week or tomorrow?
Tomorrow's kind of quick, but I mean, if you,
I could put it next week.
okay.
okay.
Hold on, we're like,
Okay.
You don't want to do it. So he has a felony that's holding him in jail anyway, is that correct?
That's
Yes,
good.
sir.
I mean, we could do it anytime next week. It doesn't have to necessarily be on a jail run.
Okay, I thought.
Are you here on a
What
day next week? Are you here on any one of the days next week that you know of?
Tuesday,
Tuesday?
You want to put it on Tuesday?
that'd be fine. That'd be
Okay,
fine.
we'll put it on
Tuesday,
Tuesday.
6th, I believe.
Yeah,
That's fine with you, Judge, if that's
Okay,
with the court.
that's fine. Mr. Martin, I'm getting ready to sign your dismissals. You can come up to the window. To the court coordinator, get your dismissals. Once you get your dismissals, you're free to go. And you have the best day. Oh, somebody didn't sign the date. Hey. Andrew, you didn't date it.
Oh, yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
it's good.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Have we, talking about Burbank, do we know where he is? Can we call his office?
They're gonna call his office.
Burbank should be like the first or second person on the docket. You had those dismissals on Mr. Martin, I just signed. And, is this the one for the GPS? Mr. Martin, to get a copy of this. You-
Want to have them step outside so you can bring it up?
Yeah, you had two different cases. Which is, what's the matter? Whoever you got your GPS from, where is it, Johnny's? Yeah. Yeah,
we found out what Burbanks was? I'm not going to buy that peanut brittle.
Yeah. How often do you get paid?
Every 2 weeks. I get paid early on Fridays, but it's every most of them Tuesday. I get paid early on Fridays, so every 2 weeks. Every Friday. That's when I got it. That was my first check.
Yeah, I see.
We were supposed to work a certain amount of hours, but since I've been working since April, we never worked that many amount of hours at all. They were starting off, and I was trying to tell you last time, starting us off like $8 an hour. I mean, 8 hours 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday. And they just put me on 2-point schedule. So I just started working 12s like a week ago, week and a half ago. You need to add it to the document.
That's a, engagement of the day.
You know what I mean, as far as. Andrew, was that guy's name?
Sergio Torres.
Let me do this here. We get an average.
I'll make sure that I'll let somebody know.
No, I need to get hold on, I need to get an average. Hold on a minute.
I know that gas,
What about insurance?
our insurance by itself is 1,000.
I mean, I mean, my question is, did you include that in here? Well, you need to include your insurance. Once you get his term, and whatever your insurance a month, that goes on transportation.
2 cars,
Okay, with transportation.
oh,
You gotta, you can sit down at the table and figure it out. Then you're gonna have to add that back in. Yeah, you already got the total. You're just gonna add, whatever you add, you're gonna add that to the total.
okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You don't have to go back there, start at the top and go all the way back down to the bottom.
I can sit down so you can calculate that.
Okay, so, did you hear Mr. Burbank? Mr. Burbank's client is, have we heard anything from Mr. Burbank's office?
Oh, he said he was in another one of our courts and that he would reach out to him.
So he's in, they say he's in one of these courts. You gonna go, hey, check with, all of the,
I am.
okay.
Mr. Boudreaux came back to tell me he's taking me on vacation with me. Yes.
Will we get started? Okay, put this back in session and clause number 24 CCCR 0218, case of South State of Texas versus Dominique Stewart. Mr. Stewart, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Stewart, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Stewart, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
Ms. Mosby? We need to give Mr. Stewart a judge's explanation of rights because he you can put your hand down. She's gonna give you a form. You remember the first form you said, and you said that you wanted to apply for court-appointed attorney, then you scratched through it and said you wanted to hire.
Yes.
She's gonna give you that form again. And on that form, you have to initial that you would like to apply for court-appointed attorney and sign and date it. Now, you can read the form. And what I can do is, where's Mr. Gilbert? Oh, that's right, he's in our case. Yeah,
We can let them know if you want them to approach next, Your Honor.
well, I got a plea.
Yeah, signature name.
Oh, he's signing them up, okay.
Fair enough.
No, we just.
Okay, now, Mr. Stewart, I have before me two documents. The first document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without an Attorney. You recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
And are these your initials on the line that state you'd like to apply for a court-appointed attorney?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Stewart, I have another document before me that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Innocence. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant Signature. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir, that is.
Mr. Stewart, before you sign and initial these documents, did you read the documents?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
And did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes, sir.
to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Mr. Stewart, I read your answers. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. And the attorney that will be appointed to represent you in this case is Attorney Margaret Provo. Ms. Provo is currently in, that's her right there. She's currently in court. Now, you'll be given information on how to contact Ms. Provo. Ms. Provo will also be given information on how to contact you. The court coordinator will give you that information. Once she gives you that information, you'll be free to go. If you want to visit with Ms. Provo afterwards, you can. Yeah. Now, Mr. Stewart, please stand in front of the court coordinator. Oh, just have a seat and wait for your name to be called.
Just appreciate it.
All right. There you go. Oh. Know what? No, I was supposed to appoint, I was supposed to appoint on that other. It was, who else? Who's after that? Yeah, I just thought about that. No, it's supposed to be, actually Nathan Reynolds. Yeah, Nathan Reynolds. Nathan Reynolds is supposed to be appointed to represent you. Yeah, because we just appointed Mr. Provo in the previous case. Reynolds. Yeah, he was here earlier. This is Stewart. I'm gonna need that, I'm at the, yeah, nature knows.
What is that?
Yeah. That's O'Connell. Jessica O'Connell. Jessica O'Connell. Oh, I need that. Miss O'Connell, your full name is Jessica Ray O'Connell?
Yes, sir.
Miss O'Connell, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Miss O'Connell, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Miss O'Connell?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Miss O'Connell, you're representing your case, your attorney, Attorney Marvel Provo. Attorney Provo, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
That's good. Now, Miss Provo, do you waive a record in Miss O'Connell's case?
Yes.
Miss O'Connell, I have before me a document that is titled Motion to Revoke Probation. This motion to revoke probation was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this motion to revoke probation in cause number M333748, it alleges that you, Jessica Ray O'Connell, was tried on February 7th of 2023 for the offense of theft. You were found guilty and your punishment was assessed at 90 days confinement in the Jefferson County Jail and a fine of $500. The confinement portion of your punishment was probated for a period of 18 months. The state has filed a motion to revoke your probation. In this motion to revoke your probation, there are 5 allegations. State, are you abandoning allegation 1, 2, 3, and 5?
That's correct, Your Honor. Proceeding on for failure to complete community service.
Ms. O'Connell, the state is abandoning allegation 1, 2, 3, and 5. They will be proceeding on allegation number 4. Allegation number 4 alleges that you, Jessica Ray O'Connell, failed to perform the community service hours required as ordered by the court in violation of condition 14 of your probation order. Is that true or not true?
True.
Ms. O'Connell, are you pleading true to allegations 4 freely and voluntarily?
Yes,
And are you pleading true because it is true?
yes,
Ms. O'Connell, I also have before me on my tablet a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishments. This document is also labeled as State's Exhibit number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Excuse me. Now, on page 2 of the same document, there are a set of initials J.O. on the line next to a box that's checked MTRP, which means motion to revoke probation, true to allegation 4. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes,
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
yes, sir.
And on the next document that's titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, you recognize this document?
Yes,
And is this your signature on the line that's titled
yes,
defendant?
sir.
I also have before me, sound like Harry. Okay. There it is, yeah. I also have before me, well, Miss O'Connell. Before you sign and initial these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes,
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct
Yes, sir.
to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Ms. O'Connell, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State,
Stand for stage 1.
any objections?
No,
No objections, State's Exhibit number 1 will be admitted. Ms. Provo, you've advised in counsel, Ms. O'Connell, is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
no, Your Honor.
And Ms. O'Connor, your attorney, Mr. Provo, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes, sir.
Has she provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Ms. O'Connell, I will accept, well, Ms. O'Connell, the court is gonna find, well, I will accept your plea of true to allegation number 4. The court will find that you are mentally incompetent to stand trial. The court will also find that your plea and waivers was freely and voluntarily given. And the court will also find that there is sufficient evidence to revoke your probation, and your probation is hereby revoked. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
What is the agreement?
The agreement in this case is for 14 days time served for a plea of true to allegation 4.
Ms. O'Connell, state is offering that you serve 14 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case because you already served 14 days in Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for the time that you have already served. The court costs in this case will be taxed and retired. That simply means that you will not be required to pay it because the time that you spent in jail has already paid it off. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Ms. O'Connell, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, I do.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes.
Ms. O'Connell, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Ms. O'Connell, this will conclude your case. Ms. O'Connell, just have a seat and when the paperwork is ready, you can go up to the window and follow the directions of the bailiff. And Ms. Provo, I
Yes,
think
ma'am.
this is your last case.
Yes.
You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Be excused.
Oh, yes, and you may be excused as well, Mr. Gillen.
Thank you, sir.
All right, you have a blessed day. So we're working on, is that Leva
Believe, Your
I'm
Honor.
about to send it.
or leave, or Leva? Or Leva.
Are you ready for it?
No, the paperwork is not ready. Would it be a recess? Did we? Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. Court is in session and calls number 23 CCCR 1462. Case of style of state of Texas versus Bailey Oliva Leva. Mr. Oliva Leva, is your full name Bailey Oliva Leva?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Oliva Leva?
Good.
Good? Okay. I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Oliva Leva. Would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
You may put your hand down. Mr. Oliva Leva, you're represented by your attorney, Jerry Gilthorpe. Attorney Gilthorpe, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge.
That's good. Mr. Gilthorpe, do you waive a record in Mr. Oliva Leva's case?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Oliva Leva, I have before me on my computer a document that is titled Information Sheet. This information sheet was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information sheet, it alleges that you, Bailey Oliva Leva, on or about June 3rd of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of resisting arrest, search, transportation. Mr. Oliva, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Oliva, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. This document is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials BL on a line next to a box that says guilty. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled
Yes.
Defendant? At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Sir.
I also have before me a document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Oliva, before you sign and initial these documents, did your attorney, Mr. Gilthorpe, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything that Mr. Gilthorpe went over?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Oliva, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State upper states one.
No
Any objection? Okay, State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Gilthorpe, you have advised and counseled Mr. Oliva. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Judge, he's competent.
And Mr. Oliva, your attorney, Mr. Gilthorpe, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
No.
Mr. Oliva, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
In exchange for defendant's plea, the state's offering 6 months deferred, $300 fine, 24 hours community service.
And this case is running concurrent.
Yes, Your Honor, it's to run concurrent with the felony.
Okay, and that's cause number 23 DCCR 1471.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, Mr. Gilthorpe, were you appointed in this case?
No, Your Honor.
That's 300. What is his court cost? Mr. Oliva, the state is offering that you serve, hold on a minute. Okay, now, Mr. Oliva, the state is offering that you serve 6 months deferred adjudicated probation. During the 6-month probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $300 plus court costs of $277 plus a probation fee of $60 a month plus a urinalysis fee of $15 a month and a reimbursement fee of $15. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month, is $298 a month. Will you be able to pay the $298 a month?
Yes, sir.
You will?
Yes, sir.
And you will also be required to perform 24 hours of community service. This case will be dismissed, not dismissed. This case will run concurrent with clause number 23 CCCR 1471. Mr. Oliva, you will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Now, Mr. Oliva, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Oliva, I will follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Oliva, if you successfully complete this probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction on your record. And you may qualify for non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Now, Mr. Oliva, do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Oliva, I see that not only are you here with your attorney, but you have some other people here with you. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And who are they?
Grandma, cousin, aunts.
Your grandmother, your cousin, and your aunts. Okay? Thanks, thank y'all for coming down here with him. Now, Mr. Oliva, I tell young people this all the time. I know that you have friends and, it's not uncommon for, you to say that, you know, that's my friend, that person has my back, or that's my ride or die. And that simply means that, you can do whatever you do. If you go down, you be at the bottom, or if you down and out, your friend is there to pick you up. They're there all the time because that person has your back. But on days like today, when you need those individuals to, your friends that is, to be around, I don't see them. I see your family members here today. Your grandmother, your aunt, your cousins, all of those people are here in support of you. You know why? Because they are your ride and die. They are your friends, right? They're the ones that put a roof over your head, clothes on your back, food on the table. Okay, not only that, but they provided a table for you to put the food on. Okay, and so I tell young people this all the time. Everybody's not your friend. Everybody's not your partner. But when those folks say they got you, they got you. Okay, and so you're fortunate. A lot of young people don't have nobody. But God bless you to have a support system. And you need to take advantage of that support system and thank those people for being here with you. And thank those people for they're going to be with you. You know, and so make them proud, okay? You can put this here case behind you because the fact that you're on deferred adjudication, you may qualify for non-disclosure. And that simply means your record can get sealed from the general public, okay? And whatever you want to do in life, you can go ahead on and do it, all right? Now, what do you want to do? What is your dream to do in life?
I don't know yet.
You don't know yet? That's not, you know what? That's not a problem.
I think he do, somebody just smack their lips over together, he knows what he wanna be doing.
Okay, but whatever it is, this doesn't prevent you from doing that. This is not the end, okay? I tell people this all the time, that this is not, your current situation is not your final destination, okay? You don't have to end up here. You can use this might be a stumbling block, because you know what? You can use the stumbling block and make it a stepping stone. And with a stepping stone, you can step up higher. So you can move beyond this. And I tell people this all the time. At one time, how old are you? 18? One time I was 18, had hair on my head, right? But that was a long time ago. You know, I'm looking through the rearview mirror. One of these days, you're gonna be just like me. Now, it might not go away, but it might turn gray. All right? Just keep on waking up saying good morning, and you'll see what I'm saying. And guess what? One of these little days, you're gonna have some little kids running around calling you daddy. Right? You're gonna have to put a roof over their head, food on the table, clothes on their back, right? And so we don't want this here to interfere with that, okay? Whatever you want to do in life, this doesn't stop your dreams. Keep on dreaming, okay? All right. So, Mr. Oliva, your paperwork is over there. Just follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following the directions of the bailiff, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day. And like I say, thank your relatives and thank your attorney. All right, all right, all right. Y'all have a blessed day. Is that? Actually, just hang in there with him. Okay?
Thank you.
There's a girl right now, she's 63.
Yeah.
But you have to be.
All right, yeah.
It's on the store.
All right, y'all have a blessed day.
Yeah, it's on-
You're welcome. Yeah.
Yeah, they ended session ago, like when those.
Grandma.
Molly was in here. Yeah, they were. It sounds like.
Okay, this will conclude the calling of the court's announcement docket and the motion to revoke probation docket. Both dockets scheduled on today's date. July 31st, 2024, in County Court, Number 2, Judge Terrence Holmes presiding. Everyone, please have a blessed day.
Thank you, Judge, you as well.
Okay, you excused.
Thank you, Judge.
No fault. None.
I mean, we always